All right, we're back. Part 2. Look who is back here with us, gracing us with his presence. It's Dex once again. We're here to conclude our video, you know? How are you doing
I do
today?
know. I do know. I'm doing great. I'm doing exactly the same as I was before.
It's like it was like 12 minutes ago, you guys. Don't worry. So we're about to dive into your gameplay video to watch you absolutely decimate a Bravo.
I
Which is
wouldn't say absolutely decimate. I feel
okay.
like I really just barely got there.
Okay, I'm hyperbolic. But he did really well. It was such a cool game. I can't wait to learn your insights as we go through this. But something really incredible happened between the last video and today, and that is more heavy hitters spoilers have come out. And it would be a shame for me to waste this time with Dex to not ramble about brutes for a little bit more. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more. Oh, the thematics of the set are crazy. I'm loving the direction. I'm loving it.
I am also loving it. I'm gonna spend so much money come January. It's not even funny. It is. I'm gonna be going into debt. I have to sell my house, sell my
Oh,
car,
oh my
sell my
goodness.
husband. Like we're done.
Honestly,
It's
gonna have to
over
do the
for me.
same thing. They also have Marvel heroes again. Come on, that's like the
Stop it.
best.
No.
Yeah, they just announced the Marvel hero. So Kasai has like a beautiful Marvel version of her that we're gonna have to chase now.
Yep.
Okay, let's dive into it real quick. We'll watch the video together. We'll look at some of the art that's come out. I mean, Linder, one of my favorite artists of the entire game, is pretty much, I think, in some level, kind of in control of the thematics of the set. So he didn't do all of the art this time. But from what I understand in our conversations on Twitter, he was like kind of creative. I don't know what the title is. He didn't explicitly say like creative director or like his studio's part of the thematics, and the art looks insane.
It
And
looks incredible.
oh my gosh, that hyena! I mean, Beastmaster.
That'd be pretty
Oh
cool.
my god, I'll die. I'll die. That's like my dream. From the beginning of the game, it's like
Well,
Beastmaster and Necro, and the Beastmaster's my number one.
Well, if your trends are to be followed, every hero you like ends up being terrible. So maybe, maybe
Oh
don't say anything.
god, you're right. I'm 100% accurate on worst hero in the set. A hundred
Uh-huh.
percent accurate. I always do it. I loved Riptide so much. Loved Riptide. Oh, okay. Okay, everybody. Impressive things are coming out of Legend Story Studios right now. We got some more sneak peeks on heavy hitters. We got some inside information coming from the page. We have all these new cards to review. Unfortunately, really only like one or two brute cards, some generics, but let's just watch this video.
Welcome to the arena! Here's something to get you started. To survive here,
Oh, I love the
you'll
art
have
so
to
much.
put your money where your mouth is.
Maybe he'll still be here. That guy who looks like a giant beefcake guardian, old man. Oh my goodness, I wanted him to be a hero so bad.
He might be Cox, the death match guy.
Yes,
He might
he
be.
looks so cool.
He does. He does. So I mean, here's our first sneak peek. We could probably get into the cards in a second, but your first, we're starting to get some generics, which are really interesting.
Contest your strength. Be cool.
The emphasis on block cards. What do you think about block cards?
I think they're really interesting. It's kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum of like pulping wild right? So like
Yeah.
pulping wild is specifically designed to attack. And then of course we have now test of strength and test of agility, which are designed exclusively to block.
Yeah.
I think they're really neat. I haven't played with Firewall, the new mechanologist block card,
Mm-hmm.
at all, aside from like in drafting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it definitely feels like a weird card because most of the time, like with Rhinar, I'm looking to arsenal something, and you clearly can't arsenal a block card.
Yeah. There was an explicit rules update in the last set where they said like only block cards that say that can be played from your arsenal can be played from your arsenal. So in one way it's really interesting, and another way it's kind of like it's a design decision, right? Like this could be a dead card in your hand on the wrong turn, right? If your opponent just
Yeah,
arsenals and passes, you could just have this red block card and be like, huh, that's unfortunate for me, and you can't stick it in your pocket. So it'll be an interesting design decision, I think.
Ultimate champion takes all your
Like
might.
4 blocks with upside, which is like above rate for pretty much like everything we've seen before. Like this is like Fate / Sync level. So I'm wondering if they're trying to get like heroes to move away from Sync and Fate, like the generic D-reacts, and have like specific defenses that they're looking to employ.
Yeah, they have, shied away from some of those kind of especially the generic ones, because I think they knew how powerful they were. Like, I mean, it's just a staple in almost every single deck, right? Unless you're like a 100% aggro deck. Every single hero uses them, and they're extremely powerful for what they are. So this is like a way to give you the 4 block, but have a penalty, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Agility and vigor.
Oh, the art's so good. She looks sick.
Art is so good.
A whip hero would be dope.
What drives you?
This man.
This daddy right here.
Fame, fortune.
Oh, I want the hyena.
There's your
Vengeance.
hyena boy.
Oh. Okay,
And gold,
this had my Discord popping
After
off.
all,
All my friends are so
raising
excited.
an army isn't cheap.
The voice acting is really good as well.
They're really stepping up their production, All right, this card's nuts.
This card seems really good.
This card's nuts. Like, summoning allies as a warrior, that is really cool. It's so thematic with Kasai, too. It's just so, like, it's so on point. Are you worried about this card?
I'm gonna reserve my judgment for like what I'm like truly worried about until like after the full set's revealed. So far, what I'm thinking is this is another thing I can attack with the Cadaver's Contraband.
Such a brute answer. More blood rushes.
This is like maybe I put in like a blue Cadaver's Contraband and just like smack Centauri Sellsword, smack a Mura guy.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, it depends on how easy it is for her to generate gold in like the grand scheme of things, because like it does say X, and so that means like you could just like dump out 6 sellswords, and you're like, okay, if I ever hit you again, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it kind of has Bolton vibes a little bit with
for
like
sure.
I'm going to set up for a really big turn where I make 19 million sellswords, and then I'll attack you with 19 million sellswords.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of trade off. Like, you have to build up the gold, then you have to hit, again to turn on the sellswords. So like seems like there's a decent amount of hoops to get through, but like if you have 6 of these, and then you do your big turn, and then there's 6 sellswords coming right after it. Oh man, that hurt.
You have to pitch to attack with them, so they're kind of like pistol.
True. Yeah,
Kinda
it's
like
true.
Pistol.
Yeah, it's 1 for 3. You're right. It's not free, so okay. I think it'll be really cool. I'm excited.
Oh my God, I think she can 2 for 6.
She looks
The
so good.
sands will run.
She can block with 3
red.
cards and then pitch a yellow and then attack with 2 mercenaries for 6 damage. That's incredible.
Yeah, and the mind games too. Like, you're pretty much forced to give her cards, because you're not going to let her hit when she has a bunch of sellswords out. You know what I mean? Like, you really don't want to just let her send a naked dagger at you, and then that naked dagger turns into 12 damage. Yeah, I don't think that's great. So she has 40 life, which is interesting for intellect. I mean, we've never really seen any hero. Oh my god, her art's so cool.
Her young art is absurdly incredible.
It's
I love it so much.
Yeah, she's the new Prism for sure on the simp grade. It's gonna people are gonna really want to play young Kasai.
People are like,
Okay.
let me make that my personality now.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, the video is incredible. They've stepped up the production so much. The art is incredible for this set. So they gave us a little bit of information in here, right? We know that it's 6 heroes again, so 6 hero set. We've experienced this before, and it's Brute, Guardian, and Warrior. So we know one of the 5 heroes now. It's Kasai for sure, and it does explicitly say that more new and old heroes will be returning. So there's a likelihood we're going to see another known face in this set. Whether that's going to be like Valda or KO, or whether that's going to be literally like a copy and paste of, like, I don't know, Dory or something. We don't know. I don't think Dory really fits in the theme too much, but we're going to be getting some returning heroes in this set. So not 6 new heroes, but some returning ones. And then we got, of course, the hybrid cards that we've seen. And then this line right here, really interesting to me. More weapons and equipment than any draftable set ever before. So we're looking at a lot of new weapons hitting the field, which I think is really cool, right?
Yes.
Weapons are like one of
I
the...
like that it's...
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, yeah.
Oh, it's just one of the
I
ways
was
you
gonna
express yourself the most as a hero is like picking a weapon, you know?
I think hopefully it'll lend to like a more varied draft environment. At the moment, like
Yeah.
Flesh and Blood draft is like fun for me, but a lot of the time I feel like I'm locked into what I'm doing 4 picks in, and then I'm just picking cards for that for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
So I'm
true.
hoping here that like more weapons and equipment lets you like diversify your path more and maybe allow you to pivot later than your first pack even.
Yeah. And I like the idea of like, okay, we locked in the same hero, but maybe because our weapons are different, it's totally different play style, right? Like that's kind of an interesting thought that maybe these weapons are so unique that you're going to pick different cards simply because you found the weapon you wanted early, or I don't know. I guess it also depends if they're tokens or commons or majestics or whatever, right?
Indeed. Do you think they'll include multi-class weapons? I don't think we've seen that before, so there's no like brute guardian weapon.
I think actually for sure because this is like a gladiator set. I have in my head they're kind of like these weapons would be what's available to all the gladiators maybe. So I'm imagining either generic weapons or like hybrids, you know, like
Yeah.
just because it's thematically like a death match. I don't know. In my head, it's like all the the warriors and the people are going to go in there and they're going to pick their weapons off the wall. You know, I don't know. It's just imaginary. uh, so another 2 interesting things. One of these is right here. This is super cool. But they're introducing some new events for new players, trying to build the community up, which I think is really cool. So they're going to be giving local game stores like these play day promo packs to encourage like new players to come in, try the set for the first time, try the game for the first time. So that'll be really cool. However, this one is really interesting to me. Did you read this yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
It's so cool.
It's so cool. So it's gonna be dope. So basically, if you get your name on any of these new heroes in the time frame, and that hero, whichever one of the heroes wins the most events, gets the most points associated to them, LSS will mail you a like limited edition copy of that hero. So if you put your name on the arena wall, they'll send you a reward, which is so cool.
So cool. I thought I was done. I thought I like got Rhinar LL points, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to care about winning anymore. Nope. Here we go. Now I have to put my name on another wall.
Now we we have to put our name on all 6 heroes, right? So it's like if you want to win for sure, you're gonna have to win with every hero, right?
Yep.
I think we're gonna have to make some creative guessing on which hero is probably the most likely and all that kind of fun stuff. But this is really dope. Like this is cool. Another way for
the
you.
concept. Like one of my like a shadow concern, a small concern, minor concern is like what ends up happening if like they reveal like where the lead rewards are, and let's say Kasai is at the top. Then does that push everyone who's going to these events to go, okay, well, I want the free Kasai card when Kasai inevitably gets the top card?
Yeah.
Do we have like pods where it's like everyone's drafting Kasai, right?
Oh,
so I'm like, curious how that'll go.
And then it might just balance itself out because then all the loyalists will just be like suddenly winning out of nowhere, and everybody's like, "What's going on? Kasai sucks now. I don't understand." It's like, oh well, everybody's forcing Kasai. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. I'm excited to put my name on and try and put my name on some of these heroes. Okay.
Me too.
So then we learned a little bit more about keywords that are coming out. Also, I don't know if all of you at home noticed, they explicitly mentioned 3 tokens in the video, not just the 2 that we've seen. So there's 3 tokens in this set, very similar to Outsiders. So we can imagine that these tokens are going to be really important for these heroes and the way this stuff works, right? But we learned about wager. Wow, I don't know what happened there. But wager. So when the chain link resolves, if the attack hits, you create a vigor token. Otherwise, your opponent creates one. So wager is like a brand new mechanic in which you're betting that you're going to hit, and your opponent is now incentivized to stop you, which is kind of cool. Like it's like an on hit in like a weird context, I guess. What do you think of this?
I think it's really cool. 1000%. I think there's like very few classes that I don't want to wager into. Perhaps like maybe Azalea, maybe Bravo.
Yeah.
But even then, Azalea sometimes how many of her cards are actually arrows, right? She's got like 9 million pumps.
Mhm.
But like I think these cards are very good for like Rhinars who have like more sixes. Right now, I'm pretty low on my 6 count,
Yeah, I was thinking
so
that
we'll
too.
see if I end up like bumping up my 6 count because of this. That'll be really interesting for sure.
Yeah. So it's like the wager mechanic is like the bet, I'm going to hit you, you better stop me. And then we get clash. And this one is kind of crazy to me. This block card right here has me so pumped. Oh my goodness.
Test of agility.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you clash, you defend with this card, mean, you are the Rhinar and the opponent clash. You flip the top card of your deck. Whoever has the highest damage card on the top of their deck wins the clash and gets to make an agility token. And as we know, Rhinar has pretty beefy attacks. 6 is pretty much, it's either 6-0 or higher. Right? So, you're just hoping you don't hit the 0, right? But this card is really cool because it's as a sideboard piece. You can pick matchups where their attacks don't go very high, or they have a high chance of it being a 0, like a attack reaction or whatever. So I don't know. And an agility token, that's the go again token, right?
That's the go again token.
That's the go again token. That's swing big into swing big from a D react.
I actually think this card is does it say when the combat chain closes?
So clashing heroes
When
reveal the top card of their deck. The hero that reveals the card with the greatest power wins. So it doesn't say when it closes. It just says
Okay.
you win.
So what's really interesting is like as a brute, if you're playing this, you get information off the top of the deck of the opponent, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So for example, if you're like waiting for like maybe there's like a Katsu or a FAB mask trigger on the stack and you block with this, you get to find out like if it's worth stuffing their mask trigger, right?
Yeah.
And then also, since it's creating the quicken token on their turn, and most aggro decks have go again already anyway, like they're not going to benefit from the quicken token even if you lose.
That's what I was thinking too. So certain matchups, giving them this agility token doesn't matter, like Fi or Katsu. It's like, take it. You're going to have it anyways, right? But you know what else this card unlocks is a 4-card 20 for Rhinar. It's possible. This is a 4-card 20. You block for 4 damage. You make the agility token. You play swing big with a blue. You tunic and you swing big. It's a 4-card.
So tasty.
4-card 20.
Imagine blocking with this and having Savage Feast.
Oh my! Didn't even think of that. A free Savage Feast. Oh my god! Just turn it on. You don't even. Who needs scab skins anymore when I can just do what I wanted to do and block anyways? Yeah, this card has me pumped.
Seems really cool, really good.
Yeah, agility tokens are going to be really expressive for Rhinar. Like it's going to be hard to get them to work all the time, but when they do work, it's going to be nuts. And then we get another generic block here, right? This one creates a gold token. Gold token's maybe not super relevant for Rhinar, but any deck that was running Royal and had cash-in already, this is going to be pretty sweet for them. Like multiple cash-ins does make Viserai seem a little bit more scary if he can have 3 cash-ins played instead of 1. I don't know if I love that idea. But again,
For sure.
comes as a block card, so there's a penalty there, right?
And we know Kasai already has a mechanic that interacts with gold. So
Yeah, so there's going to be a defensive warrior seems cool too. Okay, I'm getting hyped. And then we got ultimate pit fight. So now this is a draftable UPF set, which I think is the first time
I'm
I've
gonna
ever
buy
done this.
so many packs.
It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be disgusting. So your local game store plays UPF, right?
Yes. So we have 8 local game stores.
Oh, wow.
Very blessed with armories. So every week there's at least one place that will play UPF.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah,
a bunch of my friends love UPF. So
I think it's really good for the game.
Yes.
It's just good for growing new players. And then these are armor pieces, generic, common level armor pieces that interact with how many players are at the table, which I think is kind of interesting. And then at the end of the day, it's really just a block 1 blade break in a like constructed scenario / whatever, limited scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the rest of it is pretty much that we get the pre-release event coming. We have the world premiere in Queenstown. And then they are including the expansion slot once again. So people did like and hate the expansion slot. I loved it personally.
I liked it.
Yeah, it gives the heroes who don't it gives the players who are loyalists who don't have a hero in the set a card that they get to experience with the new set, and it doesn't leave it doesn't leave them out hope wishing that their class would get attention, right?
Yeah, it's like Fab is so similar to like competitive fighting games. It feels like the expansion slot is like a patch, right? It's
Yeah.
like a buffs patch for some of the other heroes.
And we saw how impressive some of the expansion slot cards were, right? Like Drill Mize is nuts. Viscerize was pretty good too, if it wasn't for Warmongers existing in Azalea. Like there are some really strong cards in there. Cool. And then, standard like booster configuration blitz. And then, 6-hero set. A lot of new cards coming out. Not too many brute teasers up to this point. This is kind of like a warrior teaser, but we got something. So what do you think so far? Just no thought opinion. Where are you going right now as a Rhinar player? What's in your head?
So I love what they're doing so far, especially because it's like Rhinar really doesn't have a lot of sources of go again, and new ways of getting go again seems really neat with agility tokens.
Yes.
I hope he doesn't get like super overpowered and therefore like everyone plays him.
Me too, actually.
Kind of like being like I like him being like our pocket pick,
Yeah.
I am still looking for a backup hero. I would love to have another hero to love as much as Rhinar, so I'm kind of on the lookout for that. And so far, Kasai seems really neat, so I'm really excited to see like all of their play styles and
meshing together. Yeah, Rhinar mirrors suck, so I really hope he's not like the number one deck, because honestly, Rhinar mirrors are very draw dependent, but maybe the set will also give us more stuff to do between our draws, which might make the mirror a little bit more expressive. But honestly, it's kind of like who hits Scabs harder and who hits Blood Rush harder wins almost always. There's some skill there, don't get me wrong, but there's some skill there. I don't want to lie, but like it's kind of when you're a 1-card deck, it's.
I won't say anything.
I know you won all your Rhinar matchups, right? So there's skill there. I typically win mine too. I'm just gonna say, but I don't know. It's not the same as like a Prism mirror where it's like, oh my gosh, like they're thinking like 13 turns ahead. It's more of like a who made less micro mistakes and did somebody whiff on a Blood Rush or not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's dive into your game real quick. But yeah, this is really exciting stuff. Heavy Hitters is looking insane. All right, so here we have our absolutely beautiful decks on the screen right now. Reppin' the Rhinar teeth. I like it.
Ethan's camera game is so good.
It's amazing, right?
Also, as we play this game, I didn't realize I play the game like very in a manner that's very aesthetically pleasing to myself.
Your hands are in the right place. You shuffled the cards the right way, stuff like that.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't realize I played this cleanly. Something to take home from watching this stream.
You did crush it, right? So skip. We'll go right to the. There we go. Boom.
Okay. So opening hand was terrible. It was.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know if you can see it very clearly. Double Wreck-A-Romp, Reckless Swing, Remembrance. This was like and I'm going first. This was a nightmare because I was like, okay, that's 3 out of my 17 blues already.
Yep.
And a yellow that I can't clear. And if I roll Scabskins, then I'm stuck with this god awful hand. You can literally see me.
I would be really upset. And if you pitch stack the Reckless Swing and the Remembrance next to each other, you might not be able to fire the Reckless. Yeah, it's not great.
So what I end up deciding to go for here, and I think they'll show it pretty shortly, is I go for a Wreck-A-Romp play, and I'm like, if I discard the Reckless Swing, sure. At least it'll get this card out of my hand. I'll put the other Wreck-A-Romp in my arsenal, and I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
Yeah, it was disastrous turn 1.
And you didn't feel like rolling for Scabs there?
No, because if I roll for Scabs and I don't get it,
hit it nice.
And I end up having to block with 2 Wreck-A-Romps, and I can't block with Remembrance, so I would have to
You just didn't want to risk the 1.
Right, if I get the 1, then Remembrance is just stuck in my hand. I likely have to use it for no value. And I was like, I'll just pitch this for a long time.
Okay,
later.
I like it. And you hit the Wreck-A-Romp, so it all kind of worked out.
We've seen pretty early.
Yeah, that's nice to see. He's pocketing an unmovable there. So interesting.
And I'm in the tank here because I hate arsenaling Wreck-A-Romp early, or not Wreck-A-Romp, excuse me, Reckless Swing early.
Yeah.
Because it basically commits me to I have to use that to discard a 6 at some point, and with tank Rhinar, sometimes like the 6s and other cards just don't line up, and then you have to like
Yeah, it's not.
waste value. This turn I have a Sync, a Fate, a CNC, and a Reincarnate, which is not a horrible hand. I'm thinking about using my Reincarnate to play for a CNC and double blocking.
Choke slam.
Here he goes Choke Slam with 2 floating, like representing a pummel.
Yep.
So I'm actually hoping for the pummel here.
Yeah, you can seal it nice and easy.
So I'm going for double D-React.
I think there are
Just make sure that that is what I do. I'm pretty sure I put both D-Reacts in front.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Important on its own. And then if you don't bluff the pummel, then there's no.
I don't think I can tell at the moment.
Right.
Regardless, it's not a blood rush.
Yeah, not a blood rush to the bottom.
Not a blood rush. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, so you cover up half of it. Considering right now, looks like you're going in. Am I popping my second D-React here?
I was debating going for the Reckless Swing again at that moment to get it out of Arsenal and having the chance of ditching Sync below, but I decided to go for the Sync. He doesn't have a pummel apparently, and I go, I'm sad because I was hoping to. If I discard the Reincarnate, it goes to the bottom. If I discard the CNC, that's fine as well.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have CNC in Arsenal after all of that, but
yeah. Okay. But you hit him with the CNC. He's got an Arsenal. He probably doesn't love to see that. He's gonna ditch. Yep. So he's just straight ditching it.
That was so I was really thrilled when I saw this, especially considering like my hand and my Arsenal position, that he crowned so early into the
Yeah, it's
match.
amazing.
Oh
And he drew another red, so I don't think he was looking for a red there.
So there's no pummel being threatened.
This next hand is one of my worst. This was what I was afraid of, right? So I found the Blood Rush while I still had Reckless Swing in my arsenal.
Yep, and now
So
you're stuck.
Yeah, I drew Reincarnate, Blood Rush, High Roller, and Barraging Red, I believe. And then he goes Dominate, Crippling Crush, I think.
Yep. And now it's like, do you
So this is like
50-50 that Blood Rush right there, Or what is that? Yeah, 33% that Blood Rush right there. That sucks.
This is like the exact scenario I was hoping to avoid when I
Yeah.
put the Reckless Swing in Arsenal like turn 1. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna ruin my life.
Yeah, it's the hardest part of playing a one-card hero, right? Like, especially with so many intricacies of like discarding all that. Like, this is or drawing 2 Blood Rushes in the same hand with a bad arsenal. Sometimes it's like this is the worst case scenario. Everything's going wrong.
My experience from Ethan telling me about the Leviathan matchup, Crippling Crush is like the attack that really matters.
So here I'm debating. I remember thinking really hard on this turn because if he hits me with the Crippling Crush and crushes me, not only do I take like minimum 4 damage, I also have to discard 2 cards, which is pretty likely to be my Blood Rushes at that point. And then the other feel bad is like using armor to really not protect anything, which is what I end up doing here.
I think
So I go with the 9 block, prevent the
That
crush effect.
33% chance.
Better than a 66% chance. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
I was like, if I lose the Blood Rush here, I lose the Blood Rush here. So I lose my yellow barraging, but he does not take he doesn't take the 2 damage, but at least I only take 2 in return as well.
The world's not over yet. You're starting off a little bit on a weaker foot, right? Like a terrible first hand, Blood Rush on a bad pocket, but you're holding on.
Yes, I've only taken 2 damage so far this whole time, so
Yeah.
that feels pretty good.
Yeah, for getting womboed by a dominated Crippling Crush with a Blood Rush in your hand, you're doing pretty okay.
Yeah, we made do with that Reckless Swing.
Yeah.
So here we're doing Claw, pitching the Reincarnate, and then the Blood Rush is the other card in hand, so that's just going to go into Arsenal.
Yep.
But yeah, I was featured on stream before this on round 4 to play against Dash.io, and I was blocking the whole game. So I was like, I'm so excited to show the more offensive half of my deck. And then I spend like this entire time, like first 4 turns, like blocking him out. It's like, okay.
Okay. So gives you a Zealous. All right, not bad. I mean, trading a Zealous for a Claw is kind of an interesting choice.
Yes, I believe he had a second Zealous in hand.
Okay, that would make more sense.
That Addison had made a seismic surge.
And notably, looking back in retrospect,
I think
one
yeah.
good
At this
thing
point,
about
the
running,
app stopped
uh,
working.
these,
I think on Ethan's
this
phone,
piece
and
for
he had
Oh,
to come
okay.
fix it.
Providence
Got
is
it,
that
got
it
it.
can prevent up to 6
Oh, there he
There's
is.
his little head.
turn. So I wonder if this is just the correct helmet to bring into Bravo, given that you know that they're going to be trying to rush you down.
Yeah. So all I know about that Arsenal card right now, I think, is that it was a was that the Crippling Crush actually?
I missed it.
One of the most impactful cards.
Maybe it might have been.
For Brute,
I think he's about to starstruck me now, though.
Oh, that card's also annoying, especially when you have a blood rush in your pocket. It's like another one of those cards. You're like, wow, couldn't this have been another time?
Starstruck.
And this is a perfect blood rush hand.
Yeah.
This is double swing big, a blue of some variety, and Warmonger's Diplomacy. I think it's
Yeah.
hold the line, Warmonger's Diplomacy, and double swing big. And I was like, unbelievable.
Yeah,
I get like my first playable hand.
You're getting time walked right now. You're getting Rhinar time walked.
They can like blood rush bellow you on the turn that it comes out.
Oh,
And
gosh.
so
This Starstruck was so well timed.
it really was.
Yuanji and Naib actually suggested a potential line I was considering, and I was not. I was not considering this at all. Was blocking 3, taking 7, getting crushed, and then rolling scabs and using tunic counter to go
Yeah,
swing big,
double
swing big.
swing big, 50%.
And I was like, absolutely not. That is like the highest risk play. I would take 7 damage for like almost nothing.
Yeah, and also like if you roll a 1 on that, you just lost your highest value card.
Yeah.
So I would not do that either. As a player, I would not risk that. Especially when you're not in danger right now, you know what I mean?
That would be the juice.
Right.
I wonder
That would have been like the mandatory play if he went like if this was dominated, then of course I'm blocking 1 card and then I'm
Yeah.
rolling scab skins and praying to the gods that I get 6 or like 6 or a 5 or 4.
Oh no, Dexter. Oh, is he blocking?
I was debating giving him 6 as well, but then I was
Oh,
like,
you
I'll
gave
give
him all of it, huh?
So I think Dexter is.
I chose to preserve my life total here because of how badly these first 4 turns were going. I was like, I don't want to be in a position later when he can just dominate something and then kill me. So I was like, if he's giving me this card undominated, I'm gonna block as much as I can.
Interesting.
Get a quicken token. You know, having the quicken token on.
There was a potential where I could have considered rolling scabs here to go claw.
Yeah, okay. Yep. I like to do that a lot.
But with Oasis still in my deck and the Blood Rush in pocket, I was like, I just want to fire this Blood Rush successfully before I worry about doing a claw play.
Choosing to be a little bit more defensive instead of giving Addison an opportunity to block.
Okay, so another spinal.
And as you can see in these,
Okay, just a brief note, that was the first turn that the Blood Rush got stuck in my arsenal. This is now the second turn.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's like, I think it's turn 5, and my card is Oasis, Savage Feast, Barraging Red, and Barraging Blue right now. So another really not good hand for Blood Rush, right?
Yeah.
And the Savage Feast is completely useless. I don't even have another 6 to ditch to block it.
Yeah, and I'd be starting to get a little scared here, probably that, you know, you're going to draw your second Blood Rush here, and then you're going to have 2 Blood Rushes in your hand.
Yes.
A little scary.
I was getting scared of that as well. Also, I believe that's my 3rd sink below. So I'm also getting into just like Bravo can dominate me later, and then I will just have no recourse.
Nothing left. Yeah.
Yeah.
In each of these exchanges, Dexter is always the one presenting higher value. For instance, when Addison threw a 3-card 10, Rhinar blocked with a 3-card 9. Right there, Addison threw a 3-card 9, and Rhinar blocked.
But I'm still like leaking damage, right? So this this is the hand. This is the hand where he had double Zealous Belting, because he gave me another one. I was like, that's a wild choice.
Yeah, giving you the Zealous on the claw was weird.
I think he just goes Naked Crippling Crush here.
Okay, so now you have your tunic. So there's your value. He took that damage, which is kind of interesting. So you're just like slowly winning the trades, right? Which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
You're just grinding him down.
Not the best thing that you want to be doing, but this turn he is going to be able to swing the Zealous Belting with Go Again, and he's going to be able to throw the Anothos for 6, which I think is, you know.
There was a potential where I considered to use Scowling here. I feel like that pretty much turns off the turn. At most, he goes like Hammer.
Yeah.
For 6. Oh no! Excuse me.
It would turn off the hammer.
This would just turn off his whole turn because he just doesn't have any.
Yeah, it's one of the best uses of Fleshbag in the Bravo matchup, aside from like Pummel.
Yeah, but since my hand was so terrible, I was like, I can't really punish him for not having a turn here anyway.
Or, you know,
You might as well save it for the Blood Rush.
Hammer.
Extra armor.
Mhm.
to
believe I
block.
used to decide to use
So
the
you have
Oasis
that
here.
going for you.
So you might have been able
It's
to.
tough. The value is definitely there to block
I'm not sure actually.
the Scowling Flashback on this turn. But I think
Like this was a
also
turn
because
where I
Dexter
absolutely
has the
would,
swing
if I had
ability,
like
right?
any sort of reasonable Blood Rush hand,
You
that
don't
was a
really gotta do
Scowling
that much of
turn where I
a
just
Mhm.
turn off his
especially
turn
like
and then
one of
crack
this
back
like
with
a Blood Rush
an
Bell
incredible Blood
Scowling
Rush.
hand.
Yeah.
Right, and we see a double barraging.
Instead, we get to do
Both of
Barraging
these
Claw,
develop,
one of my favorite plays, and
barraging
we've talked
beatdown,
about it on the
and
channel.
after
Yep.
hand,
Just time walk the Bravo now. Don't let him have a
wants to
5-card
swing.
hand.
He wants to force the
Mhm.
Bravo to give him
Or
2
you could take seven
Or you
damage.
could take 7.
Yeah.
That would be
Or we
also
can
pretty
check
awesome
trade,
against the Bravo, to be honest.
non-attack
Actually,
action
he does take
for
7.
entry 2 cards.
Or like he takes some amount of damage here.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wonder if Dexter's plan in this matchup
Okay.
is also to try
Okay.
to
Nope.
See? Oh,
Does
see,
not
look
take
at the
not-
value you just got off that sync.
You
Oh
know,
my
it's-
So
goodness.
much.
the trade's a little awkward for
You're just like
Dexter,
out
but
trading him
also,
straight up.
looks like the hands
Mhm.
are drawing a little bit
There's, it
awkward.
doesn't.
Addison,
It's
you
like
need to
it's
defend
harder
the
to
gap.
tell, but like you are right. Like
Because the
that's
mana
a
clause,
that was
you
so
don't
much
really
value
have
out of
the
that
counteraction
fate for scene he
save
just lost.
for,
Right.
you know,
I
a
feel
Buffalo
really good
or
about my
something like that.
position.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
And it
just
feels
like I
that
do
could
not feel
actually
good
be a
about
game plan
the
for him.
hands that I've been drawing this
He's
weekend.
still
That's a
playing the Dexter's
4-red
playing.
hand, by the way.
He's been very
Oh, it's a red
calculated.
barraging. Ugh.
He's very thoughtful
Yep.
before he makes a move or a block.
So he goes
Yeah,
Naked
so
Crippling
Addison's
Crush,
coming in for 11. This is,
and
think, a
I have to
really
think
good
about
turn
this for a
for
moment, but I don't have my
Dexter
Tunic counter.
for this to line up this
I
way
would be
because
taking Crippling
the
Crush and losing a bunch
stands
of
is all red,
cards.
it looks
Yep.
like.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And if this was
it's just
dominated,
the whole
it would
hand
be really sad for Dexter
gets
here.
thrown in front.
But he can just say, "Hey, here's my whole hand. Let's go on to the
And he has
next
no
turn."
arsenal, which means that you're still technically ahead by
Giving
you know
away,
some
all my
value, right?
alpha rampages,
So you're not
Yes.
really
so I
suffering
won't
there.
have that play, but I do have a
No,
remembrance,
but
so
that
And-
was
to
turn
get that back for later.
3 with
Three
while
or
I'm
4.
sitting on this Blood Rush,
Yeah.
and then it's now we have 4 non-attacks again. It's Blue High Roller, Hold the Line, Fate for Scene, and Blue Barraging.
Yeah, you're
I was like, my
not.
deck hates me.
Yeah,
My deck
honestly,
hates me right
this
now.
is the struggle. This is one of the turns I'd probably look at double clawing off of Scabs, maybe just to present some more value. But
You gotta take the lumps.
I considered it. I blocked 6 here. Turns off the crush effect again, which is it was not relevant.
Yeah.
But now I get to present back 5 with an Intimidate, which is not good.
no,
So
it's not.
this be
But
the turn
it's-
that
It's
It's
one
still
away
something.
from okay. You know, it's 2-card 5 versus 2-card 6. So
And critically, Tunic is back up on
still
3, which is
doesn't
nice.
have the turn set up. And so, we're playing these barraging beatdowns.
okay, so now the game is slipping a little bit here, I would say. But he is dumping quite a few power cards, and you've expended pretty much only your swing bigs at this point.
Yes, we've seen 2 Crippling Crushes and 1 Starstruck, and I think 2 Spinals
Yep,
at this
so,
point.
like,
So I was
the
like,
Reds
I'm
are
feeling
kinda-
pretty good.
The Reds are kind of dwindling in his deck right now.
So long as I can not die.
Yeah, as long as they don't die.
Here I'm counting my D-reacts. Something I noticed throughout the day actually was I was constantly in my opponent's graveyard and Bannerstone, and no one was looking at my stuff.
Yeah, you were in the level. You're in the zone, So
I was counting cards like crazy.
So he takes 1. Okay. I mean, still.
Yep.
You traded
1
a
damage off
blue
of
and a claw
barraging.
for a sink below. That's pretty good, to be honest.
Pretty great.
Beast with
So I
it.
believe he had a very awkward hand. This is finally the good Blood Rush turn. This is
Yeah.
turn 4 with a Blood Rush, and finally I have it.
And you can force the beast within discard here, but you don't run very many 6s, so
Yeah.
dominate. What are we looking at here? Oh, just dumping his hand.
Dumping,
Perfect.
I was like, this is perfect. I was like, free, take 6.
Finally.
Or I think do I block 3?
You block with one of those, right?
Yeah. I think I block with I think it's red barraging.
Yeah, you have to block with one of those.
It looks like here that all he needs to do is throw away.
Yeah, there you
Oh no,
go.
I blocked with the warm-up. It was blue barraging.
Yeah, so I figured, okay.
That isn't a 6.
It's taken 3, and now you're about to do what Rhinar does best.
Discard one of his 6s.
Yes, finally.
And
I
think
was so happy that I didn't find the second Blood Rush in those 4 turns.
Oh, amazing, right? That's when it starts getting really bad. That's when you start really sweating. You're like, okay, everything's going bad. I don't know what to do. I have to 4-card Blood Rush. And you have Tunic up, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom.
Blood Rush.
50% on the Beast Within.
Yep.
And you
And
hit
you
it.
get it.
All right, let's see how much damage you take.
Quite nice.
The legendary 7 damage. Oh,
One.
perfect. Perfect.
Kind of guarantees that you're going to be able to claw twice.
Okay, intimidate on the stack.
Quite important. Probably the Rhinar deck is playing.
Always do it in the right order. people at home. Intimidate, then draw.
And
Resolves in
as
that
a
order.
Rynar player, Dexter has the ability to stack his triggers
Draw
how he wants
2.
to.
Pew, pew. You got your attacks.
First to resolve
You're looking
the
clean.
beast within
So 2
So I'm
yellows.
looking
Hmm.
pretty good with this hand.
Yeah.
before he resolves the intimidation.
And this blood rush. Here we go. Claw for 5. Go again.
Yeah, this is an 18 floor, right? So
these are the big turns that Rhinar's really building into.
However, if you notice like my graveyard versus my deck, we're like solidly like nearly halfway through it at this point. And this
Yeah.
is my first blood rush and he's at 30.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I understand that this is like finally a good turn for me, but also I don't have that much time to kill him.
yeah, you're gonna
And I've
be
been blocking
fatigued.
with a lot of 6s and right, my swing bigs are gone. I've
Yeah,
been
your
blocking
swing bigs are
with, like,
gone.
smashes
Some of your
and-
barragings are gone. Yeah, your closing cards are dwindling a
If
little.
you roll scabskin leathers and you get an extra action point, you could attack.
I love how they're
swing,
saying,
draw,
Yaji's like
draw,
roll scab skins, get an extra action point. It's like, no,
believe that he could
not right now. No, I would not do that.
It's funny that you say that because I'm pretty sure I'm about to do it.
Really? You didn't roll.
Yeah,
I would have rolled before.
I wanted the 5 damage for free.
Oh no, sorry, before the blood rush, right? But here you get 10, and then are you going to consider rolling here? Oh, you're a beast if you do
I
it.
do.
Because
I
it's
do.
true. It would be. I mean, okay. What's your benefit? You'd have to draw. You would have to draw a yellow to fire either of those other cards.
But you know, it's inevitable.
So
Yes.
It's gonna be leaking some damage.
you're gambling quite a bit, actually.
choosing to block armor.
Yeah.
Let's see, that's Smash Instinct, and was it? What is the other card? Pack Hunt.
I think they're
kinda
both
makes
smash
Really
instincts.
spend a lot of hit triggers, so
I have to look.
you know, the
I
armor
famously hide one card from the camera for some reason. I don't know, just the way the pattern with which I shuffle my
You're
cards.
doing it. So here's that 1 in 36 chance.
a boulder drop.
Boulder drop. Sorry. Yes.
You just get the one action though.
1 action point. Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but
Right?
we only got one action. So
At this, so again, at this point, I was like, I just clawed him twice, and he took 1 point of damage. He's at 29, and I
Yeah.
have like 35 cards left in
Yeah,
deck.
you have
I'm
to go
like,
for the intimidate here. Yeah. Discard.
It's piled up. Yeah.
yeah, but this is still.
So I have 1 floating, but I have I have Tunic still. So if I draw a 2 cost, I can play it.
Oh, true. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you would have hit your scabs, yeah.
Player down.
Yeah, Bravo
Yeah.
doesn't have a
Okay, that
lot
makes
of
sense. That's
ability
right. Yeah,
to
you're right.
play
Right.
deck
It's not a
cards
yellow. You could have drawn
at all.
anything.
They don't play cards like Enlightened Strike.
So I didn't mark it with my counter, but I do have
They
a
don't
pitch
necessarily
floating,
play,
I believe.
3 for 7.
Yeah,
Right.
makes
And
sense.
so a lot of the times, the best thing that you can be doing is just
Okay.
like,
So you
Getting
chipped
some-
him a little.
I mean, that's
Not
pretty
not
good, too,
tremendous amount, but a little.
Deck play.
it is, but you know,
It's
I
a
feel
testament to
like
Bravo's fridge that I just
when
threw
we're
18 at
evaluating
him and he
assets,
took
we need
4.
to-
Yeah, with 2 intimidates.
You guys just keep
Yeah.
dumping hands at each other. Who's gonna win? And I think that Rhinar should be the one.
I also like I've been going through my D reacts, right? We've seen like at least
Blood
2
Rush
Fade
number
for
2.
Seed, 1 Oasis, 3 Sync,
And, you know,
Yeah.
and then
especially
thank
since we saw this
thank
one
goodness I could fire that Blood Rush because I was like, okay, I have second one now.
deck very early on.
Quick,
Rhinar doesn't have inevitability.
Seismic Surge, Hammer.
Rush turns.
Are you gonna eat this just for your blood rush turn? Probably, right?
1000%.
There's an
Yep,
argument
just
to be
taking it.
made
He knows what that
that
means.
this
He's
is
Dex is not blocked for the first time this game. I wonder what's in his head. I wonder.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And wow.
But you also have your remembrances down there, right? So you do have a
Yeah.
backup plan for this fatigue strategy that's kind of heading your direction. So that's good.
Yeah. My remembrance was pitched turn 1, so I
Yeah.
was expecting to see it on turn 15.
Yeah.
Here, I'm actually doing something very illegal, apparently, which is this wasn't brought up to my attention until after the game, but someone asked, and then I asked the judge. You cannot reorganize your graveyard, apparently, even though like a ton of people do it. It's considered like taking notes. So
Really?
just for anyone who's like watching, apparently, like be careful about reorganizing your graveyard.
It's interesting because it's like open. It's open information on the table. I wouldn't think that moving the cards around would matter.
I mean, Yuanji and Naib were commenting on it, and there was a judge standing right next to the table, so I presume like someone would have told me if it was like something truly terrible.
Yeah, it's open information. I can't imagine that it's like
But
totally free.
basically, I was counting my blues there because
Yeah.
I have gone through a lot of them at this point, and my brain was fuzzy, and I could not keep track for the life of me of how many. Like I was counting, and I was losing count at like 7.
No,
every
I
single
mean,
time. I was like,
yeah. I mean, now that we
What's
know that's a
happening?
rule, it makes sense, I guess. But in my head, like, it wouldn't matter. Oh, you got the infamous D react off your blood rush.
it's true.
This game
I
is
also
punishing
make
you.
I make a misplay here. I thought that I still had a pitch. You can see me like I left the pitch there, but that's my tunic counter. I used it to play my blood rush, so I don't have a pitch floating right now, even though I think that I do.
What are your plays? Because it's really awkward to cast a CNC on a turn.
And I do like the math on it in my with the cards in hand, and I look at my pitch and I'm like, that's not right. But it says I have one pitch, so clearly I have one pitch. So here I try to pitch that Fate Foreseen for a second claw, and I think the judge notices immediately, which is good.
Okay, it's fine. Sometimes that happens. You get in the zone, you know, the world escapes you.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't make sense, but I wouldn't have left this here if I didn't think I had a pitch, and clearly I did not have a pitch.
Yeah, so I think they're just getting that cleaned up. The judge, there's a floor judge.
We're waiting on the judge call.
Or misrepresenting the
Yeah, so here I'm like, okay, this is really bad if I cannot rewind this claw, because I obviously thought I had the pitch, and if I had the pitch, then I can throw the card that's in my arsenal.
Yep.
If I don't have the pitch, then it's just this 5, and then my blood rush is over. So it'd be extremely punishing if this miscount. But like they were talking about it on stream, and like the rewind was like what everyone was expecting this to be. So here I'm asking, like, can I not throw this claw because I thought I had more pitch than I actually did? And then the judge wasn't sure immediately, so he went to go talk to the head judge about it.
Yep.
And at this time, I decided to ask Addison, like, like we were just having a conversation, like asking, like, what got him into the game, why he's playing Flesh and Blood, like what he likes about it. Just having a good time.
Just a nice good time.
Even if the fix is kind of obvious, I think most judges do a good job of just having like due diligence. You gotta just check the handbook, make sure that
You're gonna go in the tank. Yeah, they put you in the thought tank.
Absolutely. Pause.
Love it.
Taking a break, judges.
Yeah.
Making sure that we're dotting all our I's and crossing off our T's.
I do love this game though.
It's a really good game.
Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood is so good.
I think it should.
Yeah, it's such a testament of skill. Let's see if we can find it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking to see what the fix is.
Point here, it's pretty big.
Oh boy! All right, so we're looking at 3 action
skipped.
points. This is why Dexter is.
So you rolled and you're going for
so-
Savage Feast, right?
Yes,
That's exactly
I rolled,
what I thought. Okay.
If he draws into a
because here if I draw a yellow,
Fix it,
I
yep.
can play the claw, or I think the pack hunt from Arsenal.
And so we have 2 cards.
That'll force quite a bit of damage through.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
that looks like is that a blue that we saw in his hand? Oh, and he gives him. And so this is actually a really good point.
This is gonna give you a quicken token, no big deal.
You know, normally like
Okay.
you don't know like when you should get the quicken token, but you know that the Rhinar is at most going to be able to come in with.
I
one
think
more
it would.
attack this
Because I got punished, I think I get to punish him with the quicken token next turn.
Mhm.
Because since I don't have the resources to play the extra card, I don't break the quicken token, so I just have it.
Absolutely
Not bad.
disgusting.
Although even if he's able to attack twice, the Mandible Claws already have go again anyway. So
Yeah.
is he just passing?
It looks like I think he
Looks
just
like
drew
he
a
drew a
red.
red.
Think he drew a
But I
red.
think I
He's
still.
probably
I think this is a bad hand again.
All right.
Double Beast Within.
Double Beast
and-
Within. Ugh. And
Okay,
one
no,
blue.
not yet. The next turn is bad.
Best case scenario, I would go, kind of
I mean, here's
best case
12,
Madison,
I
but
guess.
kind of a saving
I mean,
grace for Dex.
you
Sure,
trade
Dex
6.
does have the quicken token
trade.
available to make one-
Here I was just like,
but,
I'm
you know,
confirming that is. I have to read Hammer like constantly.
Yeah.
So we'll
So
see.
here you could what? You could do 12 with an Intimidate here if you don't block. So you could trade 5 cards for 12, which isn't.
Yonji, we know he discarded.
Oh no, you could actually just straight up just do 12 with 4.
His first Savage
Mhm.
Feast, and my
Yes,
guess
but I
is
have
the
Pack Hunt
way
in
that
Arsenal, and I
everything
have
played out,
Skullcrack
I
in
think he
hand.
drew Skullcrack.
Yeah.
So I believe what I go for. So I was like,
It all played out
again here I'm at
is
19, he's
that
at 21.
he meant
If
to,
I take 6 here, I feel like, oh my gosh.
You're in
That is, I
Dangerland.
go down to 13, I'm in Dangerland, and then he still has like armor in the bank, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god, goodness.
Play the Savage Feast. Couldn't make use of the action points.
But I'm also like, I know I need to push through damage, right?
Yeah, you
Like,
have to take advantage of the quicken, right? You gotta.
he's still above half health, and I am down to like 20 something cards, maybe like 25, 26 cards.
Yeah.
Into claw or just 2 attacks, and clearing the arsenal.
Yep, exactly.
Tunic up to 1.
But I think ultimately.
And then because I have the Intimidate in Arsenal,
the Rhinar.
I think I'm going to fire the Skullcrack
Although
plus
Dexter-
the...
Dexter is
is at a
Or maybe it's
fairly
Beast Within
low-ish
plus
life total
the
against
Arsenal
Bravo.
card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if Bravo finds a turn to dominate a crippling crush, that could shift the balance.
It is often hard to do without a.
Yeah, question is, do you fire the Intimidate first,
Yeah, that's
or do you
true.
fire it second to leak damage, right? First might ruin his blocking, second might rip a card that he didn't intend on doing.
Skullcrack first or his Arsenal.
It's interesting.
Yep.
Skullcrack coming out. 6 go again. Off of the quicken that Addison gave
Not bad.
Dexter last turn by blocking
Not
with
bad at
Civic
all.
Steps. Civic Steps, one of the new cards from around the table.
So there's 3. 3 damage is a lot against the Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was a 2-cost attack. It was a
Presenting
5
12 is
red.
not bad into Bravo at
This
all.
just as an Intimidate, right? So,
Yep.
good card. We're going to be potentially forcing awkward
Downside, of
blocks
course,
with
is
cards
I'm
that
out of
Addison doesn't
Arsenal,
wanna
but I
give.
also
Yeah.
only had 1 counter
I
on
think the
Tunic, so I was
worst
like,
would
I'll
be
find another
Addison
thing to
was
put
left
in there
with red
eventually
and
before I hit
Arsenal, or
3 on Tunic.
He gives you both cards, and a pommel leaks 1 damage. Okay, so you leaked 4 damage there. Not bad.
That's interesting.
Mhm. Not bad at
You
all.
could, I think, decide to keep the pommel.
Quite good,
and then
actually.
Arsenal it, and then
Yeah.
just attack hammer for 4. I think that's a legitimate.
I think he's
play.
starting to
Especially
think
'cause
he
now
can
it's
fatigue you,
probably
right? 'Cause
valuing
it seems
the
like based on that block right there,
time,
he's thinking he can
knowing that
fatigue you,
Dexter has
I think.
access to,
And he's correct. My deck is so small.
oh,
Yeah.
changes Arsenal.
Normally you'd
Yeah,
keep
looks like
that pummel,
card
I
that
think.
he wanted Arsenal was
If-
Intimidated, so I guess he figured he just
Okay, so what's that? An Oasis, an Alpha Rampage. Just a lot of reds.
Now,
Yes. It is an Oasis and an Alpha Rampage, and I'm
Dexter
pitching
now
both of
has
those to the
really awkward
pack
hand.
hunt.
Also, he did block his last Blood Rush spell.
Like, he just gave me his whole hand, and I'm just like, 6.
Here's 6 damage with 3 cards.
basically, Addison
VPC of 2. Delicious,
has,
Rhinar,
you know,
not
a
math.
card in his arsenal.
So good.
He doesn't have
But
a
Oasis, you have
blocking
Tunic
attack
next
that
turn. That'll probably come in handy. You'll get your whole health too, so it's that's a 5 card off Tunic. 5 card value or 5 value off of Tunic, which is
3
nice.
armor, up to
Yeah.
4 if he wants to spend the Tunic here.
I believe that's Blood
So
Rush in
he
hand,
is
though.
Was it? I
somewhat
thought it was
safe,
Tunic.
For-
but, you
I
know,
think it's Blood
there is
Rush.
a
I pitched
Ah.
the
opportunity
Oasis.
if
Oh,
he
you're right.
wants
You're
to
right. Okay, then
play
yes,
that.
then that's a Blood Rush.
And it looks
Okay.
like
I didn't even see that.
Addison
Oh, putting your Blood Rush in Arsenal against Bravo is so terrifying.
CNC pummel.
Yeah.
And
It hurts
Addison
me
is
so
shooting
bad
through
when they
all
do
the
it.
damage, so something big is
Okay, so you got
coming
some
back.
free damage through finally.
Blue Crush,
21 to
he's
16.
Yep.
worried about,
No, it's a rouse the ancient, so he's coming in.
Which is, I was like, huh, I'm concerned. You,
a
you
lot of
didn't
damage.
block.
That would be pretty big.
And you draw
And
your
then I-
remembrance too. Ugh.
because he wants to rouse the
Yeah,
ancient.
so I was actually expecting to see the Remembrance next turn, but I for some reason I like didn't calculate in that I was like using Fate for scenes this whole time, and it pushed the Remembrance into my 14th turn.
That you get to, you know, swing
And I was
your
not
weapon
ready.
afterwards.
All right, absolutely. So here we have Rousing Ancients. Well, no, actually, no. He has to keep a full card hand to be able to power up the Rousing Ancients.
Yeah.
Huh.
Then we
no blocks
finally have
here.
our Rouse, revealing
It
2
doesn't really
blues.
matter.
Here comes the pressure, right?
Unless
11 to
Arsenal
16.
that
You
is
take
Rousing
this, you're
then I think you might
take
want
this,
to
you're
play
hurting a little bit.
Spelling Flashback.
Dexter
Take this, I'm down to
quite
9.
awkward.
Yeah,
Oh
you're
my
in
goodness.
you're in
I just
Bravo
died
rage.
with-
Cards that are not
Yeah.
Die to a
So if
just
you
a
use
regular
incentivized
attack.
here to
Yeah.
block the hold the line, but it's just, you know, a 2 block in your hand, which is not
And my hand is not good for blocking, right? This is objectively a terrible
Oh,
blocking
this
hand.
this is terrible. Yeah.
And then play the
Because I'd love to throw a CNC, but like the Remembrance, I don't want to pitch that Remembrance again.
Yeah, you can't respect.
I don't want to pitch hold the lines.
I
It's
think
like,
so.
it's
I
not
think
good.
I think one of the worst plays that
It's
you
no-
could be
no bueno.
facing
No
on the
bueno.
follow-up is, so you're coming in, well, you're coming in with the Rousing Ancients for 7.
And now I'm
Addison
checking
chose
for
the
what I'm
Arsenal
supposed to
card,
get back
Ar-
with the
Arsenal cards
Remembrance.
most
Yeah,
definitely
it's
a rouse.
alphas,
So
barragings,
coming
blood
in with a
rushes,
Final Crush on the follow-up,
Counting
swing
blues
bigs.
again.
Yeah, so you have most of your alphas are gone too. So your closing cards, your swing bigs. Rough.
So what I'm thinking is he's at 11, right? That's like 1 Blood Rush, especially if like the armor gets thrown at me. Like I can do 11.
Yeah, if you can
Nothing.
even just get like an alpha. Yeah. I love putting alpha in my pocket later when I have 1 blood rush left because like they just don't expect to take, you know, even if it's just claw alpha. That's if they give you 1 card on claw, that's 11 to the dome.
Yep.
Unblockable 11. So you can just one shot him from here.
So I'm doing a lot of reading here. I'm like, okay, so if he swings hammer at me, he'll be doing 6. So this is a 13-point turn. And I'm just gonna spoil it for the viewers at home. I am blocking with Scowling Fleshback here. I think I'm afraid of like a pummel in Arsenal of some variety, or B, I think it was like if it was like red Spinal Crush. that would
Yeah.
both be terrible and turn off my Blood Rush turn. And I was like, I can't have
we're
that happening.
seeing
Yep.
Addison's
So I was
And
like,
you're at
let's
the
just make
point
it
where your armor is like
intimidated.
starting to become a little bit less valuable.
Mhm.
You know, like a lot of his red threats are gone.
Dexter just saying,
So you're taking 5 here.
You're gonna attack me with an Othos. I'm gonna tank the damage, and I am going to try to threaten lethal.
absolutely. I think Dexter probably will block for either
Another
none or one card
6.
here. Most likely none.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, you can block none. I think that there's some argument to blocking with the scab skins here. Having a higher life total lets you play around.
But I was like, I have to keep the pressure up. If I don't
rather than the
Yeah,
other
if you
way
don't do
around.
anything
pressure him,
here.
then I'll
It
just
honestly, in the
die.
long
And it's a
run,
blood rush in your arsenal?
you could always just throw the scab
It's a blood
skins
rush in my
away.
arsenal.
Yeah, honestly, you just remembrance here and then
It would end up
play
being
blood
a
rush. Take the 6, maybe even block with scabs. Go to 5.
You know,
Oh, no blocks. Here
Yep.
we go, baby.
oh, cool.
So I was like, he's at 11.
Out of the way.
So
Right,
now
I
you're
can
putting
take
in
The remembrance early.
the
attacks,
6
right?
here.
A little bit of a pump
Yes. So here I actually put in,
fake.
you'll see in a second.
Yep.
But I don't go for
I
the
believe
typical
Dexter has
Blood
Blood
Rush
Rush, yeah.
and Alpha
a
Rampage
record
barraging
bomb
beatdown.
blue, so I think
Because of
that's
how this
also
game's been
like
going, I have like
pushes back into his
very
range.
few blues left
That's
in
what
my
I'm
deck.
thinking as
So I
well.
go with 2
The
Wreck
difference
Ups.
between a
Blue.
That's
really
pretty
good Blood Rush
smart.
fellow
I like
and
where your brain's
a
at.
mediocre Blood Rush fellow is a lot
And
to
then at this point, I was actually debating going either Alpha Rampage. For some reason in my brain, in my dumbass brute brain, at this point, I thought I already Blood Rushed him to 3 times because I had already counted the Blood Rush in my arsenal. I was like, I'm Blood Rushing with that. I've done it 3 times. So I was like, do I need the 5th Blood Rush, which is what I thought this would be. I thought this would be the
got you.
My most recent game that I played against Dexter,
it ends up being the
right before
4th, so I'm
Ultimate
super
got
glad that I
released,
brought it back
and
in.
I played against
Yep.
him, and he had 3 Blood Rush
But there was a
fellows
consideration
every
for like
turn.
Alpha Rampage
And it was a very
instead, just to
scary,
push through damage.
I do love
Um,
Alpha Rampages at the end against the Bravo. Like, it's one of my more common remembrance targets.
The reason why I didn't go for it is because it requires at least 3 cards in my hand, and I'm going to 5, which
Yeah,
means I'm
exactly.
blocking with 2 cards every single turn.
I
for
like the
rest of
double
game.
blue. The double blue is smart. Like, because now even you have a higher chance of drawing a blue off of the blood rush here with and it's a 4-card blood rush. So like, there's a high chance of getting a blue. I like it.
Yeah, I think in addition
And we have the
to
tunic counter on
Blood
3
Rush
as well,
kind
so
of,
like things just lined up really
So
well for
sitting
this blood rush
here.
turn.
At worst case, you're gonna force him to block, and I think there's still 1 Alpha Rampage in your deck, so you have that and 1 Reckless Swing. So as long as you can get him to 2 here,
It's gonna, if not
2
kill,
or
it's
even
gonna
like
buy Dexter
pressure him so
the
hard that you
chance
draw
to
the Alpha
be able to
Rampage
draw
next
into an
when he has no
intimidating
attacks, and then you can kill him. Yeah,
You know, he'd been pitching
I like
all
it.
these
I
intimidate
discarded the
non-attack
CNC, which I was
actions,
really happy about,
so
Yeah.
far, and now he has
because
a
that means the
chance
smash,
to
the yellow is
draw
still
it
in my
back up.
hand. So I was like, okay, I don't
Absolutely.
have to draw a blue here. I would
Exactly
love
the
to
card
You're
I
though.
wanted.
fueling your blood rush here,
Getting the
and you
red
got the
six
blue
back
that you just put in.
by
Isn't that amazing?
discard out of his hand.
Isn't that incredible how that worked out there? That's
Oh,
Yep.
nuts.
So this is a full blood rush turn. I was so happy with. I thought I had it
Sure,
with this.
Claw probably riled up because the riled up becomes a 7.
I'd come in with the Intimidate over the Riled Up. Not sure though. We'll see what he blocks with.
Yeah, so we're coming in for 9, I think. So it'll be 7 plus 2.
5 go again.
19 total damage this turn. Addison has access to 3 armor block plus 3 cards.
Absolutely. Looks like Addison is giving
Full
away
cover.
the token now. Addison Master
Notably,
Builder
he
is
gives
taking
me
steps. I
a
don't think
quicken
he's,
token.
Yeah.
Mid
turn
blood
that he
rush.
played it,
Interesting.
at the
And
best time that he
I think
could.
Ethan chimed
Under
in and he was
punish
like,
because
as a brute player,
Dexter's deck punished him by giving him the red.
Civic Steps the
Dex-
second
Dexter-
claw, not the
Dexter
first
kind
one.
of punished
Yep.
Addison by getting punished himself.
Right.
So I guess it ended up being a
If you
wash.
had the resources here, he would have
But
been
yeah,
punished.
Addison I think has been playing the Civic Steps
So here
really
I'm
well.
like debating between
And I think,
the
that's
9
really
damage
the
of
mark
riled up versus the
really
8 damage
differentiates
plus
him
an
from
intimidate
Brute.
off
Yeah.
of
Yeah, I wonder
smash
now that
instinct.
he has the quicken
The Intimidate
It's
is
clear
worth.
that I-
without intimidating the card.
Intimidate's worth more, right?
That's what I'm thinking as well.
I think so.
'Cause if you attack with a
I
claw
believe that's what
here,
I end up going
Addison
for.
We'll see. It's a hard
puts
choice
cards in
because,
his
like,
hand.
also Reckless Swing, but I think the Intimidate's worth more
Play the smash instinct
because
first,
just intrinsically getting rid of 3 versus gaining 1.
which I
So
think could tip the scales. I think that would be enough to finish
Yeah.
the job.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. I'm pretty sure Intimidate's the right
One more
choice here.
card from hand. He's going to be left with potentially a 3 block at max. Unless he has a
Such a
D-react
good game.
arsenal.
Yeah.
Then Dexter, throws an intimidate.
Yep, there
Yeah.
we go.
That's what he's doing here.
Intimidate.
Dexter's going to be attacking for a intimidate.
Boom.
Followed up by a 5. That's
So yeah, that
15.
just bought you
Exactly 10 unless that
2
gets
or
the
3 damage, whereas Riled Up would have given you 1.
Yes.
However, he does get to keep 2 cards. So at minimum, you know he's going to be able to at least do
Slight
something like
punish
hammer
on the Civic Theft,
for
but
6.
there really
Yes.
isn't a much better place.
So he has 1 card
Yeah,
left
I
in
think-
hand, and I'm
I
like,
think the
okay,
spot that
he's
Addison
just
played
taken
was
a bunch of
the
damage,
best
or he
possible
will
spot
be
to
taking a
put
bunch of
down.
damage here.
Right, absolutely.
Alright,
So you
I'm gonna
got-
jump in here. Actually, as the brute player into this, the way that you most get
I have
punished
1
is
claw
when they
coming,
Oh, of
do
and
course,
it's
it's
so
a D-react.
unfortunate that
Of
he
course.
was left
If you
with
just take it on your
he was
second
left
claw
with a
for every
fate
blood
for
rush,
scene,
then it is
which was
really almost impossible to
huge.
use it.
Of
This was
course.
What
huge.
happened the first time? It's not what happened here.
Rough. Sucks.
So
And
Addison
actually,
was
during
able
the
to
game, I
was
actually
able
didn't
to
realize
block.
how
I think
huge
he'll
this
be
fate
able
for
to
scene was.
live
I was just like, okay,
at,
fine, fate for scene.
one
No,
Sure.
it's nuts, yeah.
Addison knows that Dexter has.
But then afterwards, rewatching it, I was like, oh my god, that was incredible that the fate for scene happened at this
Yep.
particular moment.
Yeah, so now
Now he's gonna take 2, 3 more, right? So
reckless swing, and Dexter is like is going to have.
Which puts him to 3.
yep. So the one block saves him from a reckless swing, right? Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So sad. So now you have to
And this was
desperately
like-
find 1 damage.
This was so bad for me. When he was at 3 after this entire turn, and I'm at 5, I was like, I am gonna have to keep blocking with 2 cards for the rest of this game, and his hands are just gonna be better than mine. At that rate, because he can do like hammer for 4, and then I'll eventually have to block with 2 cards on that, and then he can arsenal a card, and then he'll have a 3 card hand, and then he'll have a 4 card hand,
Yeah.
and then I'll die.
And then you die. Ugh.
This is actually fine. Just CNC, I have nothing in arsenal, like, but of course it's 6 damage.
Yes,
I'm
it's your whole life.
Bravo to this point where it was low. You still kind of have to try to build into.
Let me see. I think I have some notes on this.
Yeah, not hitting that D-react with getting 2 intimidates that turn sucks.
Mhm.
Yeah, so maybe the line is you block.
But now with him at 3, I think I was hearing like Yuanji and Naib saying that I could probably pressure with 1 claw, and it would buy a card out of Bravo's hand. But that's like a very quick recipe for death. Like
Yeah, it's
I
not gonna be
need
enough.
throwing minimum 6. Like
Yeah.
6 needs to happen every turn
It's not enough,
at this
yeah.
stage. If he was at 2,
Yeah.
then
But
claw would be fine.
here, I think Bravo
But
actually is in a pretty good spot.
Not 3.
because Dexter is only going to be able to come back for.
Because you could
3.
scab double claw here, but then you lose that tunic for your Oasis you have in your hand now.
I think in all of these
Mhm.
situations, it's going to
Really bad time to
favor
draw that Oasis.
Bravo,
Yeah.
I believe. Not having swung his arsenal, he did have the red in his hand.
Absolutely. I think
Going
But I'm
right
still
in.
capable of throwing 6. I really wanted an arsenal. That's
Yeah.
like
You want to find
That
the
was, like,
value here.
the dream.
Yeah, so I think he's going to go for the line where he's going
I think here is actually a mistake to block with the Wrecker Romp instead of the High Roller I had in hand.
You might have been able to take the 3 and then go back up with your Oasis next turn, get the 4 or 5, the 5 value instead of the 3. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think in hindsight I should have kept the Wrecker Romp over the High Roller.
Oh yeah, for sure the blue choice. Yeah, probably the blue choice. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be really hard to maintain, though. At this point.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Because at this point my goal was like, okay, I have 1 more Blood Rush that I put into the deck. I should have kept the Wrecker Romp because it's a
Density,
6, and I'll
yeah.
eventually have that Blood Rush. And then I should just be able to take him to 2. If I find that, I was like, at this point, I was like, if I find that Blood Rush, you're dead, right? You're at 3.
Right, you're
There's
dead.
no way that you won't die to this.
I think Dexter, if he does have a reckless
This
Spinal.
Spinal Crush
priority
is
leaking just one
rough.
damage.
That's a backbreaking spinal crush.
Because
with a red because he
I
has
have,
Signature.
this is an awkward hand of some variety. Let me check.
Yeah.
I wonder if Dexter's
Those
happy.
hold the lines
Um,
are coming in a little funky at the end.
Yes.
I think there's 2 things.
And you're in dominate range, so if you don't threaten something, at least he does have an arsenal, which is nice.
So here I was like, I can full block 9 and send 3, but again, that is the play that will get me killed. Because pressuring 3 when he's at 3, he just blocks it with 1 card.
Yep.
And then he'll have a 3 card hand again, and he can just go pitch 2 cards, throw a hammer, put a card into arsenal, and then I'm in a really bad spot.
Yeah, you're really looking for a swing big here to pivot if you had one left, because then you would just do the 2 card 8. He'd pull 3 cards out of his hand, and then you have tempo for your blood rush. But
I'm pretty sure I'm out of swing bigs.
I think so too, yeah.
Pretty sure I blocked with every swing
I
big.
think so too.
Exactly. That's not going to do as much since Dexter still has 2 remaining armor.
This is
So, although Dexter is
really
at 5,
tough.
Yeah, this is a hard decision to make.
2 life
Get time locked or go to 2. It's a hard
And
decision to
choose
make.
I go to 2.
Also, like a crucial point that could
It
come
really
up,
sucked because I wanted to block with the
is
hold the line,
when
but I didn't
Dexter-
want to go to
if
1.
Dexter manages to extend the
Because if
game
I go
to
3
the
card
point
plus
where he
hold the
gets
line,
the
I can
tunic on
use
3,
pitch the barraging beatdown to
could
play a 6.
potentially
And you-
continue this,
You technically have 2 block on your armor left, so it's if you have like half of an out now.
8 whatever
Mhm.
back. And then we just like keep doing this for a while. When I get my tunic counter up, now I can start to roll scab skin
So
leathers.
yeah, this is blue barraging,
I
so
can
it's
roll
only
scab
threatening
skin leathers
5, but
and
he
try
has
to
to give
you-
me 2 cards.
6.
Why'd you
And
block
when I
with the
get my 1 card
barraging
six,
or with
that's
the
how
skull
I
crack
find my
over the
way back in.
barraging?
Pun intended.
Absolutely, and it looks like Dexter is doing a very smart brute play here. He is playing one of his remaining
Why did I do
barraging
that?
beatdowns. This requires a
Yeah,
very
because you could have done
Madison,
6.
but
Yeah,
it's-
I think I valued
I
the
think he's trying to
intimidate.
get that-
Oh, the disruption of his plan. I actually kind of like that. I was thinking that
Yeah,
too.
block 3 cards.
Just
He
curious
could
if there's like a
block
particular
1
reason,
card and
'cause-
go to 1.
I mean, guaranteed,
Have to be
you know, he
afraid
can
of,
block with a 2 block now and not get
you don't
punished,
always
but
wanna be looking behind your back.
you are forcing him to block with cards that he didn't want to block with. Whereas Skullcrack, he would have just picked his 2 worst cards.
Right.
So I like it. Yeah, I like it. I get it.
That
I was
was
just curious.
I think
Yeah.
at this point in the game, we're probably.
But as I was watching this too, I was like, I think I could have just played the skull crack.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think in the moment you're probably really worried about him finding like like too many reds or something along those lines, right? So here's a 4. So this is kind of like you might have actually did the right thing there because now he's just coming in for 4. So maybe you did disrupt his turn.
I
Is it
believe
an
I
alpha
find my blood
rampage?
rush. It is an alpha.
Oh
rampage.
baby, is
Yeah.
there a blue there? Oh, it's the
There
reckless
is, it's
swing
a-
though. What a
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Unless
I also there's also a blood rush in here.
Oh, then it's not that bad. You can just block with your
There was
arm.
I think there was a line where I go
unless Addison draws into
Ooh.
This is one of my least
Yeah.
favorite things to happen too. When you have both win cons in your hand at the same time, you're like, I wish Reckless would have just came 1 turn later.
I think there was a line there where I go block with both of my armor piece. Oh no, that takes me to 0.
Yeah, you die.
So I have to give a card here.
And Tunic is really valuable on your Blood Rush, I would say. So I think this is the right choice. It's just, do you
So I was
block
like,
with
if I have
Alpha
to
or
give-
not?
I was like, if I have to give a card here, I can't fire the alpha rampage. So I was like, I'm blocking with it.
There's a chance
Yeah.
of survival blood rush fellow turn. But at 3 life, I wouldn't bet my money on it.
Yeah. This is clean. Clean. You're going to get your Tunic counter.
Now to 3, which is going to also be pretty
Tunic
big.
counter, and now I
Beautiful.
can fire a blood rush off of. This is the 3-card blood rush.
3-card blood
pain.
rush.
Going to be the 4th blood
I have like
Hopes and
8
dreams.
cards left in the library, by the way.
Yeah.
We're down to like 8 cards.
We're on the hopes and dreams.
Absolutely.
And I think Addison is starting to see.
I remember not being stressed at all during this game. Right, my palms are sweating right now.
It's a pretty
I know how this game goes.
pretty good nail
And
biter
I'm-
here. Oh, and you draw the Wrecker Rump. Ugh.
I drew Recca-Romp Warmonger's Diplomacy, so no 3rd attack for me.
Unless,
So it's just claw.
yeah, because there's a Warmonger's in hand. This isn't
Yeah,
exactly
just
what.
looking like. Just
Oh,
looking
but
like
he has the unmovable. That's a death sentence against the Rhinar.
good for Addison.
And now you just survive until Reckless. Do you have any 6s left? You really have to keep that 6.
Yeah, so critically, the Blood Rush just put a Reincarnate to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Right next to it,
I don't
beautifully.
think so. I think
And
the
Reckless
thing
is about to
I think
go to the
claw
bottom as
you
well,
save the
so
Recca-Romp.
I
Recca-Romp is
pitch
not the
my
worst to have in
Recca-Romp
your
here.
arsenal,
Yeah.
Because you do threaten, let's say if
Which
you
is another
draw into
6.
Intimidate, so you intimidate, you play Recca-Romp,
Yep.
then you get to intimidate twice and swing.
Come on,
for 6,
pass me.
You know, that's not the best.
Make your
but
choice.
It could be like what you need. Maybe that's what you need to threaten.
Damn.
3 intimidates.
Yeah, so he's going to take 2 here.
He is actually choosing to keep the Warmongers.
Go to 1.
So I guess this is
Beautiful.
dominate.
Now let's hold on for 3 turns.
Turns here.
I
He's just playing it out.
end up playing the Warmonger's Diplomacy because I don't want to Arsenal it.
Yeah,
His turn.
it's fair.
He's got him down to 1, which is where he wants him. Now Dexter can.
And then because Warmonger's Diplomacy like matters so little against Bravo,
Yeah.
like maybe it stops him from dominating or making a Surge, but like I'm never like choosing to play Warmonger's Diplomacy against him, aside from like this one particular moment.
Okay, so you get your value. So yeah, sync that thing. Let's get back to our
So literally, that's
swing.
another 6. That's another 6 that I've just sank.
Beautiful.
The game is
top.
to lose from this point onward.
So now, right now, we have a stack of Reincarnate, Reckless Swing, Wrecker Romp, and then another 6.
Yeah, and you're just continuing to force the awkward blocks here.
Yeah.
Don't let him keep his turn. Don't let him plan anything.
Here, critically, I forget about the Warmonger's Diplomacy, and I try to barraging him, and thank goodness the judge catches it. But like, I was so pissed. I have been playing with this card since July, and I like never forget my Warmonger's Diplomacy. I
When
know
you're
I
in the
can't roll.
tank, it just happens. Like, you know, you're so used to the patterns. You because like you're in your cards. You're looking at your cards, but you're like in a different world, thinking about all the possibilities, and then you find the one you really like, and you just do it. And you're like, oh wait, I can't. You know,
It's so funny because watch this. I'm literally about to try to play the barraging again.
yeah. See, you go into the tank, right? Like you go into the different universe. You find the perfect line, and then you're like, oh, never mind.
Addison's laughing because he like knows, right? He knows what I'm doing.
Looks like Dexter deciding which of the 6s he wants to attack with.
I'd go.
Probably attack with the Beast Within. He's doing the play that
So I end up going Tunic Resource here. Play the Beast
Interesting.
Within
Why
so
not the
it
Intimidate?
kill me later.
Oh, Beast Within killing you.
So-
Yep, totally. Smart.
Beast Within would kill me if I found it on the Reckless Swing turn.
Absolutely.
And then if I put the Smash Instinct to the bottom, that puts me with 1 Reincarnate before the Reckless Swing,
Yep.
and then 3 6s after the Reckless Swing. So
Yep.
it's like, that thing will be fine even if he dominates.
Perfect. Yeah, smart play. Heads up play. Don't put your Beast Withins next to your Reckless Swings when you're at 2 life. It's dangerous. 6 damage trading back and forth, back and forth.
We have another 6 here. 2 floating.
So is threatening a pummel. Very scary.
This is like where the mental fatigue of Flesh and Blood.
Another awkward hand because I have
Do you-
2 cards and then 2 Hold the Lines. Hold the Lines were not my favorite here,
Oh,
but
and
they
he
did
has
help
double
me
hold the
live.
line,
Wow.
able to live.
Wow.
People went crazy for
insane.
that play,
Yeah,
because
but now-
mostly because they
now
thought I was
Addison
dead, and then I
has the
wasn't.
space to have a
But
5-card
ultimately,
deck
the
with
hold
four
lines
cards
were not
really
like the
good
thing that saved me there. If I had like 4 regular cards, I would have just given 3 cards plus Tunic.
Oh
Yeah.
Like,
And he
I was not dead
perfectly
for that.
stacked 6s here, so it doesn't even matter if he dominates.
This is game, Yonji.
Yeah.
And
So
we
he
know
did
Oh,
tear us
there
under.
is a world in... Does he miss? No,
And
he
there's the
doesn't. He
Reckless
gets a
Swing.
full-
Beautiful play. Wonderful.
There is literally 1 card in my
Yep.
library.
Wonderfully
Smash.
executed on the stacking of those 6s, man. Wonderfully executed.
You know, Addison played
That
really
was
well.
nuts.
This
What
is
a
why I
good
love
game.
the-
Why Rhinar
I love the
is
Rhinar v
a
Bravo because
hero
of that.
that
I
was
love
used
pitch
for
stacking.
long
It's such a good. That was such a good game.
What his out was.
I hope LSS prints fewer tutors, so like pitch stacking will always be.
Will always be. Yeah, I mean that was such a beautiful game. I can't believe it, right? I just can't believe how good that game was. Wow. Everybody at home, you guys are lucky. That was something to see. That was cool. That was cool. All right,
It was
so
pretty
as we opened up, you are starting your own content creation now, right? So
Yes.
what is your first video going to be?
Currently, my first video is a deck tech video of the deck that I brought to Battle Hard in Pittsburgh.
Sick.
It's very similar to the deck that I brought for ProQuest Season 4, so you can see like the minor changes that happened between then and now.
Mhm.
It has a full sideboard guide, so feel free to take it, play it on Talishar, modify it, figure out how you want to play Rhinar your way.
Wow.
Um,
Do you have a name of the
for
channel yet?
future, though, it is Rhinoceros, of course.
Rhinoceros. Okay, so we're gonna point to that YouTube channel in the description below. I want all of you guys to go over there, give them a little like and a subscribe, and watch the video and learn how to be better at this game.
All those YouTube things.
All the YouTube stuff, you know, just gotta do. It's gonna be exciting. And what's the focus of your channel really gonna be?
So it's really just there for, I don't plan to have like regular weekly uploads or anything. This is really just I love Flesh and Blood so much. I love playing the game. I love the people. I love the community. I'm cosplaying. I'm playing in like major events.
Yeah.
I go to ProQuest. So I figured I'll just like make videos when I feel like I need to say something. And I don't think there's like very many people who are vlogging the tournament experience. So I kind of want to show people what it's like to go to Battle Hardens, to go to call, to
that'll be
prepare for these
cool.
things. and then
Yeah.
like to go eat with friends and have a good time, even if you didn't perform well.
Yeah,
And
just enjoy the
so that
game.
It's not always about winning, right?
Yeah,
So,
you got to enjoy the game. That's what it's a game, right? It's meant to be fun and entertaining and do all of that kind of stuff. Wow. I mean, that was such a good video. Thank you so much for coming on the channel as always. Thank you for being part of my like first ever kind of podcasty style video that I've been working on for the SLN 2.0 stuff. I hope to have you on in the future once you win your calling and you win your Taylor. Then
next on the next two things on my bingo list.
next two things on the list. I see you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. All right. Well, Dex is in the Discord. He's very nice, shares all his lists, answers questions. He's in the purple Discord also. Just a fantastic human being. So thank you so much for coming on the channel once again. If you guys have questions,
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, no worries.
I love being on.
I appreciate it so much. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the Discord, put them in the YouTube below, and I'll just kind of like feed them over and ask and stuff like that. If you guys want to be as good as Dex, you got to play as hard as Dex does. You got to practice as much.
So hyperbolic. So
hyperbolic. But yeah. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you around.
See ya.